Hi-ho, hi-ho. It's off to work we go with a bucket and spade and a hand grenade. Hi-ho, 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 hi-ho. Well, hello. We're going to have a look at a platform. And welcome to the strange world of the Scruffy trader. I try and make trading easy, maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So if that sounds good, do click that little subscribe button. Genuinely helps and motivates me to do more. Smash the like and drop a comment because I genuinely answer every single one. And talking of things that I answer to,
There's your coffee.
Here she comes. Hello, my love.
Hiya.
She brought me the coffee.
Keep you going.
Because we all know Scruffy likes the coffee. That's very kind of you. What do you want?
Nothing?
That was unprompted.
You always like a coffee?
I do, actually.
Creature habit.
Creature of habit. Does that mean I have to pay your credit card bill?
I haven't used it this month.
You lying cow. You want to see what's on our table? Yeah, go on, go get that big parcel off the table.
Yours?
Who bought it?
Well, I bought it for you.
Right. Let me get this one straight. She bought it for me, but I'm paying the credit card bill. How does that work? Explain yourself.
Makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, that'll be about right. Right, okay. I'll crack on with work. When I said it was a strange world, I genuinely meant it. This is our job. It is what we do for a living. Both Winky and I trade. Well, I'll rephrase that. I trade and I'm teaching Winky to trade. So if you keep an eye on the videos, you'll kind of see our progress. And on a Saturday, when I'm sort of contemplating my thoughts and looking through, I do this. Coffee with Scruff. And I like to catch up on my emails and sort of try and put into some kind of context what some of you guys message me. Now, I had a good message from Manny over in Canada. A little salute to you, my friend. And he was asking about MT4. Now, I don't use MT4, but I do use its big brother, which is MT5. It's pretty much the same platform, just has a few extra bells and whistles. So what I thought I would do is I will walk you through my MT5 platform that I use with Black Bull. Now, the other side of the question is, why do you use Black Bull? Because I often get that. What's the best broker to use? Why do you use this one? Well, with Black Bull, it's one of the few that have big leverage at this moment in time. It's up to 500 to 1. And although having leverage is wonderful, you don't have to use it. But what it enables you to do is trade any product sensibly. So if I'm testing something, a little bit like Morningstar, where I have a small account, it means I can open up any product I choose. You've just got to be sensible with your position size. Now, it's also got multiple products that you can use. You know, whether I want commodities, whether I want into indices or Forex. And more importantly, it's the cost of trading. It is very, very small because the spreads are incredibly tight. So they're the reasons why I use Black Bull. And if you're interested, there is a link for it in the description below. Use that link, drop some money into an account and trade with it. I'll give you some of my time in the form of a one-to-one to help you on your journey. Can't be any fairer than that, guys. So let me show you what this is all about.
Well, we're waiting.
Okay, guys, let me just fire this up. There we go. This is my window of the world for Black Bull. If I just pull this down, you should be able to see. There we are. Black Bull live account. And this is where I come to just to get a feel of what's going on. And if I haven't had time to do my strength sheet, I would start here. Now, just as a refresher, if you've never seen it before, this is my strength sheet. I fill this in pretty much every morning. And I'm looking for the strongest to the weakest, the major change in strength, and it'll filter it into a basket that I can zoom in on, sort of here, and I can keep an eye on what those products are doing based on my templates that I'm about to show you. It also kind of tells me which chart to look at as well. Down here, it'll tell me the best chart to look at, whether I'm analyzing a 4 hour or 1 hour, etc. And there's another sort of engine that tells me the bias. So what's that got to do with this? Well, it just means that it saves me time. And time is of the essence when we're trading. Because if you want to analyze all the products, you'll be at it forever. You really will. So you need a way that's nice and simple to quickly look at what you need. Now, I've laid mine out so that it is very quick. So for argument's sake, I trade cable every day. So I can flick on there and I can immediately see across the time frames what cable is doing, from a daily to an hourly to a 15-minute. Now, from there onwards, I can move it down into all of the pound pairs together. And not only am I looking at cable, I can see its relationship with all of the other pound pairs as well very quickly. And what this enables me to do is, if they are all moving up at the same time, is it fair to assume that the wind is behind the pound? So if I'm deciding to go long, it's adding weight to that decision. And because I don't want to mess around with this too much, I also have a trading, which is down here, where I have all of my marks on and I can see what my levels are. And as you can see, they move down. Very, very simple. So it's a nice, easy, quick way to analyze a chart and get the information you need. Now, with this video, I wanted to walk you through setting this up. Now, when you first presented with MT5, it looks horrendous. And you'll see that when I pull up a template in just a second. But the first thing you need to do is set out your top bar, which is this section here. Because when it opens up, there are hundreds of buttons on it, and half of them you don't need. In fact, most of them you don't need. So I have mine set up very simple, and it's in blocks, so you can see that it kind of moves. And I can move it about as I so wish. So if I wanted that over there, I can put my times in the middle, etc., and swap them around. So I have them laid out. Now you can customize them, move them up and down. You can add extras in. So say I wanted a minute chart as well, I can drop the minute chart in, and there it is there. Okay, so we'll just get rid of that because I don't use a minute chart. Too much noise. Get rid of that. Okay. I then have my drawing tools. There's hundreds of drawing tools, guys. Personally, I only ever really use support and resistance and Fibonacci levels. And obviously you see me mark zones in. So that's a rectangle. And again, if I click customize, there is hundreds, from your trend lines to your arrows, GAN fans. So if I wanted a GAN fan, I can just drop that in and immediately it comes up. And likewise, if I want to take it away, it is gone. Then you come down into your zoom, sort of your plus, your minus, make your grids, all of that sort of thing. So for argument's sake, if I've been pulling this chart back and I don't really want to scroll it, if I click this button, it brings it back to the start. Nice and quick and easy. Now I might want to put extra indicators on this. So I have this button here and it's got all of the indicators. And again, there are hundreds, and you just click them and it'll drop it on. For argument's sake, I might want a moving average on it. So from here, come down, just go to moving average. It shows me what I want, parameter. So let's just say I want a 50 on there. I don't particularly want it red. Might want it in, I don't know, green, teal. Might want it exponential, whatever. Click, boom. There it is. And if I want rid of it, just highlight the mouse, delete the indicator, and it's gone. So very, very simple. Zoom in and out. Now, when it comes to this section, you can have bar charts or whatever. I prefer candlesticks. And sometimes I like to drop it onto a line chart just so I can pinpoint the exact movement of the market to take the wicks out. So I'll just flick that over. Then have my profiles, which I've just quickly shown you. Templates. Now templates is what I'm going to get onto in just a second. Because again, you can have these set up in a way that you have your favorite indicators on for one strategy and your favorite indicators for something else. So you can just click onto them very quickly. You have your toolbox so you can see what trades is running, what your history is over the last 24 hours or few hours or to a month in there. News, events, calendars, all sorts in there. Very quick to get on. And then obviously your order screen, so you can put your orders. Now market execution is exactly what it says it is. It executes straight away from the moment you press buy or sell. So for argument's sake, you just put in your volume there and then pop, buy, you're in the market. Now I like to use pending orders, and I only ever really use these top 4. And the difference between a limit and a stop is the way it is executed. So if I'm expecting the price to continue to move up, I would use a buy stop order, because the idea is place an order there, comes up, triggers, and continues in its direction. If I was expecting the price to move down before moving up, I would use a limit order. So the price would come down, pick the order up, and then go up. Okay. And obviously vice versa for sell. So that's a very, very simple thing. What I will say with this before I move on, this is points driven. So you put in there, I'm a target trader, and I'll work on sort of 10 pips, 20 pips, 50 pips, whatever. I can just drop that into here. Now, 500 is roughly 50 pips, because this is in points rather than pips. Okay. But you might like to have this set at price rather than points. If you come to tools, click options, go to trade, you will see it here, stop levels in prices or points. So if I click prices, okay, go back to that order, it is now a price rather than in points. Okay. Now I prefer it in points, so I'll just take that back in case I forget to do it in points. And one click trading is exactly what it says it is. Means if you want to close your order and you click it, it stops it there and then. Whereas if it wasn't clicked, it would bring up a box and you can adjust your position size so you can carve off parts of your trade. Maybe take 50% off the trade, etc. So how do you get it to look like this in the first place? Well, you need what's called a template, which is this here. So if I drop this down onto my play point, which is this, and we'll get that. This box here just arranges your tiles. So if you had all of your tiles all muddled up, that'll put them into a nice order for you. And I'll show you how you do that. So I'm just going to pull up a couple of extra tools. So if I click view, market watch, gives me a list of products here. Now you can add into this as many or as little as you like, and it's easy done. Just sort of tap in GBP down here. And again, you just select the one you want, and there it is, it's added to the list. If you want an indices, a commodity, a stock, whatever it is, you just start typing it in there. As soon as you see it, just add it to the list. And then to get it onto here, it is a case of drag and drop. So just drag it on, just like so, and then there's the other one. Now it looks horrible, doesn't it? Doesn't look very good. So how do you tidy this up? Well, that's what this little box is for. It auto arranges your products. So it's nice and easy. Now you can chop and change this into the window. So you can have them horizontally, you can put them vertically, so they're all side by side, etc. Personally, I prefer it sort of boxed together. So nice and simple. So you can cascade them. You can do whatever you want and then just click the box and it'll put it back. All right, so it's a nice, easy way to do it. But how do we get it to look like this rather than this? Well, it's not as hard as you think. So if we just increase that, then you look at it and you go, oh, that's horrible. Do something with that big fella. Right click, click properties, and you can start changing how this looks. So straight away, go to show, get rid of the grid. The grid is horrible. All right. So we're going to get rid of the grid. See, it's gone. And maybe you don't want to see the tick volumes, so you can get rid of that. And if you click OK, that already looks cleaner, looks nicer. But you might want the colors changed. So again, come to properties and go to your colors. Now there is some presets, so you can have it yellow, drop it down onto color and white, whatever, black and white, green and black. So you might think, oh, well, I don't really like the candles though, they're not very nice. Well, if you look at the bar up and then the candle itself, what the bar is the wick and the outline. So for argument's sake, let's see where we at. Bare candle there is white with a green, but we want it all green, so we'll make it the same. Just there. Now it's all the same, so the bar and the candle are the same. Now the bull is set to black. Well, let's just say we want that as a nice vibrant red, but we also want the outline to be red as well. Whoops. All right, bar down. Bull candle wants to be green, just there, and a bear candle wants to be red. There we go. That's better. Oh, I haven't had enough coffee, boys and girls. But that looks so much neater just by doing that. Click your indent and it pulls it in. Lovely. All right. But what if you want an indicator on it? Well, let's just have a little look. Well, there's a Bollinger Band that's set. These are the ones that I use regular. If I put that onto trend, there it is there. Bollinger Band. So I put a Bollinger Band on. Might want an oscillator on this. Relative strength, RSI. You can change the parameters, change the colors. Just drop that onto there. And then you can drag further down so you're not seeing the real estate too much and you're only looking at this. Might need a moving average on. Say you're like, oh, I don't know, the 34, just so you can see it. I'm going to put that in red and I'm going to really thicken it up. There you go. It's set. And I'm happy with this because these are the settings that I like. What you would do is you would then go to the template, save it and give it a name. So call it MA Bolly Test. How do you spell? Well, it helps if I spell test right, doesn't it? But it doesn't really matter, it's just a name. Just like so. Now, I want all of them to look the same. I want that same setting on all. So if I click it and then go on to here, I can see everything that I've made just here. And what I'm looking for is MA Bolly Test, which is the same. And now it's the same. Click on that one. MA Bolly Test. It's the same. MA Bolly Test. And all it does is I can start building up profiles. Just like so. Now this is my default profile. It's just where I mess around. But in here, again, I can then say save as. And I get a little box pops up. I'm going to call it the MA Bolly. And then every time I want to see that, it is here. So if I'm looking at indices for argument's sake, and I'm analyzing these and I'm wanting to get into it, but then I want to go back to where I came from, there it is there. It's saved for me. Very, very simple way, guys. So that's kind of a rough overview of how you make and save these things. But how do you use them? Well, like I say, mine's set up. That is my alpha watch. All right, I'm looking for correlations between them. And once I've seen a correlation, I can then look down. So say I'm looking at the euro, and this is a quick flashback to what I showed you with cable. It's done the same way. All of the euros are together. And then I can just drop it down onto my trading euro, where they're all, again, with the indicators that I like. And say I'd zoomed in on this, I can then move on to there. I have my charts ready, and then I can quickly start marking up my levels. So if I click that, I can drop a level in. You see, I don't like that level. If I click it, so it gets a little white box on, I will then be able to go into the properties and change it into what I choose. So I can thicken it up, or maybe make it a dotted line or something. There it is, it's thick. And once I've done it, I can then quickly mark a chart up like so, very quick. Simple stuff, guys. And I can mess about with this. I can put in my break, so I can think, right, okay, there is a break there. So I'm only really interested in what goes on this side. I couldn't care less about that side. So now I'm down here and I can think, right, okay, it's bouncing off this level. It's stretched. It's stretched. I've got a target point further up. And I can mess around with this, but then I can zoom right in on it very easily. Just like so. You know, there we are. I've now got an arena here. Am I ready to go into trade? Well, I don't know. What's a fib telling me? Well, from here, yep. Or at least it will be. I want to get it back on. There we are. What's the fib telling me? Well, I can see it's trading below the 23. So I want to see a break above the 23. And I want to get it higher up. Where do I think it might go? Well, where's the 50 in relation to? Well, nothing. So is it reasonable to assume it's up here? It's all about world building, guys. And I can quickly mess around with a chart all the time to help read what it is that I'm looking at. Then I can zoom in even further very quickly. Right, okay. I can see it's coming onto the 23 because these levels don't change. I can go back out to the daily and see what's going on out there. Well, there's a hell of a drop. Boom. Are my fibs in the right place? Are my levels in the right place? And I can do it very quickly, just whizzing around on this chart. But I haven't affected this one. And that's why I do it. So I can put all my scribbles on a trading chart. And then when I'm finished with it, click that and it goes back. Simple stuff, guys. Very, very simple stuff. And if you lay your charts out in a similar way, what happens is, switch this off. What happens is you can then run round the charts very quickly. You can identify your opportunities because you know what your triggers are. And it doesn't matter what your trigger is. It could be a cross of a moving average. It could be an oversold on a stochastic, whatever. But if you can quickly see it, you can then drill in and then you can mark it up and do what you choose. So it's a great platform. It's very intuitive. And once you've laid it out in a certain way, it becomes a tool. And that tool is time saving. And that's why it's as important as your strategy. Because a lot of the time for your strategy to come into play, you're waiting. But you're going from chart to chart to chart. Whereas the way I've laid it out, it's all in front of you. So you filter into a single idea. So I'm going to trade pound today. So I can look at all of the pounds. I can then look at which is the best contender of those pounds, and is it correlating with something else? If it is, then drill it down onto your scribbling chart, and not only can you scribble around and mess about with it, you're not changing anything else. So it's nice and simple, and that's why I use it. It's very, very, very intuitive. So if you've got any questions, by all means, drop it below. If you're stuck, very easy found. Just look for the Scruffy Trader, or you'll see my contact details in the description. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.